You are looking live inside David E. Hastings Stadium here in Guelph. This is Royals TV on a beautiful Tuesday night for some baseball. Mark Perry alongside Josh Alderman as the Guelph Royals take on the Barrie Baycats. Just 48 hours removed from when these two teams will select few members of these two teams were actually teammates as part of the All-Star competition in Hamilton. Strange bedfellows no more. It's back to the grind with 11 games to go after tonight for the Guelph Royals, sitting at 12-18 on the year. They picked up a big win over Brantford on Saturday, and some breaking news obviously coming out that later on this week we could be seeing the arrivals of Claudio Custodio and Franklin Torres, but we look to tonight specifically because this is a big matchup between these two teams, a series that is tied at 2 games apiece. This is the 5th and final meeting between these two teams, Josh. And for the Guelph Royals, you look at that lineup that they have here tonight. They're not really relying on their juniors as much as they did in the early part of the season. It's really starting to kick it. They're really starting to kick it into a higher gear here, and they need to.
Yeah, it really seems like they're leaning on some veterans in tonight's game. You see the likes of Garrett Takamatsu, Liam Wilson, even Andy Leader back in the lineup for tonight's game. They're really not going back to the rookies. They understand the importance of tonight's matchup against a team as tough as the Barrie Baycats, a team that currently sits second in the IBL, just 2.5 games back of the league-leading Welland Jackfish, currently on a 9-1 run in their last 10 games, and that's not including a 6-game win streak heading into tonight's contest. They are tough customers, but the Royals, by putting some of those vets in, looking to lessen the impact of that impressive roster Barrie has built.
Well, you took away my next point, but the fact of the matter is the Guelph Royals, just to focus back on them for a moment, we'll get to the Barrie side in just a second, but it's not to say that they're not relying on their rookies as much, and it's no disrespect to the guys that are call-ups,
not at all,
that have come in, but a guy like Jordan Gallo will come into the lineup as well, so they're still bringing in some of their youth to get some experience in these high leverage situations, but when you look at what's to come in the next few days and you look at the lineup that is here, most importantly, guys are getting healthy at the right time too.
And that's exactly what it is. The Royals are starting to get some of those key guys coming back into the lineup, swinging back into things, and it certainly helps that a lot of the returnees have experience against these Baycats in the past. Names like LaRue, Patterson, Hammond even, all have previous regular and playoff season experience against these very same Baycats from last year. So there's a bit of familiarity. Some of the guys that have returned, gotten healthy, like you said, partner, at the right time. It really seems like things are starting to come together for the Royals. Obviously a big win on the weekend against the Brantford Red Sox right here at Hastings gives them a little bit of momentum heading into tonight's contest. Picking up a big win here, or at the very least making it close against the dominant Baycats, can be a big positive for them to lean on as they look to push into a playoff spot.
Where you look at the Royals right now in the standings, 12-18 on the year. They are a game ahead of Kitchener for that final playoff spot, a half game back of the Toronto Maple Leafs, a team that has really struggled, losing 4 straight. Two of their last 10 games have been losses as well. So this is a game tonight where you can move up a spot, possibly with a victory, as we are looking a little bit more at the standings in the next few weeks. Again, just 11 games after tonight for the Guelph Royals.
Just a little bit of season left to go, so every single game counts from now on.
And for the Barrie Baycats, just to get back on them, you already touched on it. 6 wins in a row, 19-10 on the season. They're only 2.5 back of the league-leading Welland Jackfish. And this team is no joke. You look up and down the lineup, this is a team that is geared and looking towards a possible championship once again after winning the championship a season ago. And again, big pieces in that lineup, and you're seeing a stacked roster here this evening as well. But their story is on the mound. Christopher Torres will be making his pitching starting debut. He has already pitched in a couple of games, but the recent converted pitcher is now getting a start on the mound.
Previously spent 6 seasons in the Seattle Mariners organization, never quite making it past A-ball, but he was an infielder in that organization. It's just now when he's arrived in Barrie with these Baycats that he's started to convert into a pitcher. His last appearance as a pitcher came in relief against the Brantford Red Sox back on the 18th. Just a third of an inning pitched. Gave up 5 runs, gave up 1 hit, and walked 4. On this season, a 13.50 ERA. That's not exactly comforting if you're the Baycats. Obviously, you have the offense to back it up, but can Torres come through strong in his first ever career start?
We'll have to see. We're going to go to the anthem, and then we'll get to more storylines and your game here on a Tuesday night on Royals TV. All right, the anthems are done. We are ready for some baseball here on this Tuesday night. A gorgeous night, to say the very least. Not a cloud to be seen, 25 degrees. This is perfect conditions for some baseball between the Royals and the Barrie Baycats. Again, 19-10 record for Barrie, 12-18 record for the Guelph Royals. And the reason why Torres is getting the start here as well, I would imagine has partly to do with the fact that they had a couple of their guys go at the All-Star Showdown on Sunday in Hamilton. In fact, when you look at the roster for the All-Stars, Frank Garces got an inning in there, Carlos Sano in there, Juan Benitez got an inning as well. So, guys that had a little bit of action already just 48 hours ago, you bring in an arm like Torres and see what he can do here on a Tuesday night here on the road.
He's been a little shaky, as we mentioned, to start the season, but this is really a trial by fire. These Royals are no joke. They've turned a new leaf. They're really starting to come into their own, especially with the aforementioned big arrivals coming your way soon. So putting him in against this Royals lineup, we mentioned the veteran experience. We mentioned these guys getting healthy, getting back into the swing of things as this season has passed its midway point. Putting him in, tossing him right into the deep end against this Royals team tonight. Will he sink or will he swim? We'll just have to wait and see.
On the bump tonight, opposite him will be Jacob Kush, last year's IBL Pitcher of the Year. What can you tell us about what Jacob's been able to do as of late?
Well, coming into tonight's contest, a 2.81 ERA, just a little higher than his league-leading 1.47 ERA from last year. Across 48 innings pitched in 8 games, he has 2 wins, 3 losses, 45 strikeouts, and just 16 walks giving up. His last start came on the bump right here at Hastings on July 12th against The London Majors went 7 innings, gave up 4 runs, 9 hits, walked 1, but struck out 5. Not quite reaching the highs of last year, but still a very dominant, impressive, flame-throwing pitcher up there on the mound tonight.
Last 3 starts, in fact, he has gone at least 7 innings. 10 days off, though, so we'll see what that will do here for Jacob Kush. We know he has had some extended time off in between starts this season, so it's nothing new for him. But we'll see what these 10 days have been able to do for him as well. And that's just the way it's spaced out here in the Intercounty Baseball League, with it being a weekend league. You get the odd weekday game as well. But here we are with Jacob Kush on the mound here for the Guelph Royals to take on a big Barrie Baycats lineup. I stood beside a few of them down there. I can tell you, they are very tall in stature. I think I went and stood beside Nolan Macabroda, in fact, while he was doing the home run derby, and towered over me. Let me tell you, these are some big boys. Both teams have them as well. So, you know, they are mighty and they are ready for some baseball here on a Tuesday night. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Barrie Baycats here this evening. It will be Noel McGarry-Doyle and then the Hernandez brothers going back-to-back.
That'll be followed up in the 4-hole, the cleanup spot, by Nolan Macabroda, then Clark, Keys, and Garcia in the 5, 6, 7 spots. Andrew Johnston and Noah Hull will round out the bottom of the order.
All right, getting started here with Noel McGarry-Doyle. The lefty bat getting set here to take on Kush.
One of the many Baycats named to the IBL All-Star roster.
First pitch in for strike 1 at 7:32 Eastern.
Heading into tonight's contest, a 4.10 ERA, 34 hits, and 5 home runs on the season. Plenty of pop in his bat.
Gets that one over to LaRue, fields it over to first in time, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Mr. Kush. Let's take a look at the defense now for the Guelph Royals, battling in behind Jacob. Ashton Patterson, Andy Leader, Ethan Hammond in the outfield. Jordan Gallo, the junior, over at third base. Connor Morrow is the shortstop. Randall LaRue at second. Liam Wilson, the first baseman. Matthew Ward is in behind home plate. Garrett Takamatsu, who was in the All-Star game on Sunday, will get the night off on the defensive side. He'll be batting as the DH. First pitch seen by Brandon Hernandez. Flies it up to left field, and right underneath it is Ashton Patterson.
Now, you mentioned off the top, partner, it's a beautiful night here in the Royal City. Not a cloud to be seen, but as you can see on your screens right now, that's a lot of sun in the outfield. Patterson and Leader are going to have to battle it for at least the next 2-3 innings before the sun slowly starts to set.
Well, we just saw Brandon Hernandez. Here comes his brother, Francisco, who is playing at second base tonight. Francisco, the older brother, just by a couple of years. There's a strike. As you mentioned, the sunset, it's going to be around 8:54 p.m., so about an hour and a half to work with in terms of having some sunlight before we go under the lights here at Hastings. No balls, 2 strikes here on Francisco. Upstairs, 1-2.
And that's something I've loved seeing from Kush throughout his separated starts throughout the season. So quick, leaving batters little time to think about the next pitch.
The 1-2 right to Kush. He'll just wait, get it over to first. Had enough time to order a Fenway Frank before he got that one over to first base. A 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Kush. Just 7 pitches needed to get through it as we head to the bottom half of the first inning. And very quickly, while we have you, let's take a look at the lineup for the Guelph Royals here tonight. battling against Christopher Torres. There's Brando LaRue. He'll start at second base. Connor Morrow, the shortstop, and Garrett Takamatsu due up. Partner, you got the rest.
Hitting cleanup tonight will be first baseman Liam Wilson, followed up by catcher Matthew Ward, right fielder Ethan Hammond, and center fielder Andy Leader. And rounding out the lineup, the junior over at third, Jordan Gallo, and the speedy left fielder Ashton Patterson hitting 8th and 9th, respectively, tonight.
Well, we have touched on Christopher Torres here already, but he's another guy that's going to be very mighty when you go down the stretch. And you bring in a guy like that as well, you have to think about his ability to qualify for the playoffs. He's got plenty of time to do that. You only need 10 innings through 5 appearances in order to do that as a pitcher, 24 plate appearances as a batter. He can do both. It's just a matter of how they want to go about qualifying him, and it seems like they're going to go the pitcher route because he is coming in mainly as part of this pitching staff. You mentioned he was part of Seattle for a little while, also part of the Miami Marlins organization as part of those 6 seasons. Has a changeup, has a slider, has a curveball to work with. Pretty good arsenal for a guy that only is going to be making his first start as a pitcher in competitive baseball here.
Yeah, plenty of technical stuff. You don't really see that from guys who switch from a position player to being up there on the mound. You see a lot more reliance on the fastballs, some of the more simpler pitches. So seeing that he can throw some technical stuff, throw a little wizardry, some magic up there on the hill with the change, the curve, the slider, I think that really goes to show that he's got plenty of prospects as a pitcher, that he's not just some flashy guy jumping in on the mound when the team needs him most. No, he's got the skills to back it up.
Well, let's do the velo as well. Told his velo is way up there, 95 to 100 with that fastball. Can drop it down a little bit as well on the changeup. That one's well inside on Brando LaRue for ball 1. LaRue batting .214 on the season. Upstairs, ball 2.
Looks like the Baycats are wary of a bunt attempt by LaRue. First, second, and short are all playing towards the outfield grass, but no hole over there at third, practically on top of the batter.
That one missing outside, so not getting the location, Torres.
Well, that being said, he's only used the fastball in his first 3 pitches. See if he goes with something a little more technical here.
Inside, 4 pitches, and LaRue has issued the free pass. This will be something that we keep an eye on as this night goes along. The pitch selection, the pitch location of Torres. Because after a while, he's going to mix in those others.
You would have to hope so. I mean, looking back again at his last appearance, just a third of an inning pitch, gave up 4 walks, and that led to 5 runs coming in against the lowly Brantford Red Sox. We'll have to see if he can tighten things up, get things under control. Still plenty of baseball left to be played here tonight. We'll just have to see if he can get out of the inning.
Here's Connor Morrow, the shortstop. There's strike number 1.
Morrow batting .219 on the season so far. Just 3 RBIs, but I'm sure he'd love to add another one here.
Torres gets set. In for a strike. Picks the bottom corner on that one. Nice pitch location from Torres.
Yeah, definitely taking our advice, tightening things up, focusing more on location instead of speed. Trying to level things out here in this 0-2 count.
He doesn't have an earpiece, by the way, folks.
Not that we know of.
2 strikes, the delivery. Upstairs, 1 and 2.
And there we see our first little wizardry up there on the mound, throwing in a slider that is high. But that had a mean break to it. A wide curve.
Well, he'll get set here with the 1-2. Man on first. Swing and a miss. Throw into second, and he is out. Applying the tag there, Hernandez. Good job there by Andrew Johnston. Really good jump from behind the plate.
Not quite your conventional double play.
We'll strike him out, throw him out, if you will.
Yeah, the Baycats will take it, and LaRue voicing his opinions to the third base umpire, letting him know what he thinks. I mean, to be fair, he was out. That much is sure. But LaRue seems to have his own thoughts on the matter.
Well, this will bring up big Garrett Takamatsu. That one gets by Johnston. Torres is lucky on that one that it evaded him without anybody on base.
Takamatsu, another all-star that took part in last night's festivities. This weekend's, I should say.
It felt like last night.
Time flies.
Well, batting DH as mentioned. Just getting some extra time off on the defensive side of the ball. That one missing downstairs.
And it is a well-deserved break. Takamatsu hasn't quite stepped into that DH role as much as he did throughout the course of last season. He's been relied on a little more heavily, especially over at third base this season.
That one gets by Johnston, and that'll be a walk issued to Garrett.
So from one big man to another, it's the cleanup hitter, Liam Wilson, stepping up to the plate. Entering tonight's contest, a .277 batting average, 18 hits, 7 RBIs, but he isn't shy to pick his pitches, 8 walks as well.
Also leads the league when it comes to being hit by a pitch.
As we saw in the Royals last game, got plunked twice.
Actually, 3 times.
I stand corrected, 3 times. Not a pleasant night for Wilson.
Turns on the first pitch, but it gets put foul as everybody goes running after it. Well, Liam doesn't mind wearing them if it helps the team. I know he minds it when he is kind of, wanting to, you want to swing the bat all the time, but when you get hit 3 times in one game, come on. That'll go in for ball number 1, and again, he's worn it more times than anybody in the IBL. Every once in a while, sure, wear it for the team, but when it's happening multiple times in a game, you can tell the frustration in Liam is gonna pick up exponentially. The 1-1 in for a strike, just trying to push Liam off the plate there. Good inside fastball.
Yeah, it seems like Torres' stuff is finally clicking, finally getting into a rhythm up there on the mound. Hasn't quite used some of the aforementioned technical stuff, really relying on his fastball early on, especially low, trying to pick that outside corner against righty batters.
The delivery, that one's put foul as Wilson wastes another pitch.
Wilson, one of the most prolific bats in the IBL, entering his 7th year in the league. In his last season with the Kitchener Panthers back in 2023, had 13 homers, 45 RBIs.
That one right across for strike 3. Liam goes down on strikes. Pair of strikeouts for Christopher Torres in that inning. Issued a couple of walks though, but it's what matters on the scoreboard that counts the most. It is bagels between these two teams as we go to break. Stay with us. This is Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Getting started here in the second inning. It'll be the home run derby participant Nolan McElbrough to start things off here for the Barrie Baycats. Tied at 0 between the Royals and the Cats here in this early going on this Tuesday night. McElbrough, a big bat in that lineup, working first base. That one in for a strike.
Jacob Kush already looking strong up there on the mound. That was just his 8th pitch of the game so far.
Crushed high. It's a broken bat, but it's going to stay in the ballpark. And getting underneath it is Ethan Hammond.
That one, I mean, you could really just hear the instant that that bat shattered. So much power, so much drive in that swing. Just wasn't quite enough for McElbrough.
I'm telling you, if that bat is shattered.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
It is shattered in half.
Add that to the firewood pile.
If that bat did not break on that swing with the amount that he made contact, I think that leaves the ballpark.
I think that's out to Kathleen Street, just over the right field corner here at Hastings.
That'll go in for ball one here on Tristan Clark, another slugger on this squad. But yeah, Nolan got everything of that baseball, and the bat just could not handle it. That'll go in for a strike, painting the inside edge.
If anything, a stroke of misfortune like that is going to make him swing even harder next time up.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Clark batting .345 on the season, including 8 home runs. Leads the team in that category. Kush getting set. The 1-2. That'll be fouled off. And you see that delayed kick there from Kush, just trying to throw off the batter a bit.
Yeah, Kush really relying on his fastball tonight. And it's a well-known secret that that's his special weapon. That's his secret sauce that he likes to go back to time and time and time again. And obviously it's worked for him. We mentioned his previous accolades, his stat lines, oh so impressive. Throwing in that leg kick to change things up a little.
Still a 1-2 count after the last foul. Swing and a miss, he got him. Swinging strikeout, and that is K number 1 for Kush.
Not to mention that is the 24th strikeout of Clark's season. Despite those impressive stat lines, really struggling when it comes to fastballs that are just a little bit outside of his reach. See if he can work on that as this game continues.
Here's Clayton Keys, the right fielder. First pitch he sees right on the outside edge for a strike. Keys in his second year in the IBL, former Hamilton Cardinal. The 0-1. That'll go right down Broadway for a strike. Or should I say right down MacDonnell. Kush, the 0-2. Upstairs. Looked like he was trying to get that ball to drop a little bit, but just couldn't get the breakdown.
Yeah, to me it looked like it broke like at the last second. Almost as soon as it made contact with Ward's glove.
That'll miss downstairs, just under the knees. Let's take a look quickly at the umpires for tonight's game. Daniel Newell is the home plate umpire. Matt Neely is the crew chief at first, and Mike Guthrow is over at third. The 2-2, swing and a miss, he got him. A pair of swinging strikeouts for Jacob Kush. And more importantly, that pitch count just at 12 in that inning, putting him at 19 total. He gets out of it. Another 1-2-3 inning for the reigning, defending pitcher of the year.
Undisputed pitcher of the year. So many.
You could dispute it. I mean, other people might dispute it. Everybody has an opinion.
Partially disputed. Kush, of course, coming off an all-star selection. Mentioned pitcher of the year last year, had a league lowest 147 ERA. And yeah, there's just been, aside from that ERA, not being as low as it was last year, this is Jacob Kush at his best, at his peak, performing as he always does. Even in his off days, his off moments, you're still going to get him to go 7 innings like he has the last 3 games.
Oh, and you take a look at that pitching rotation. You're going to add a Claudio Custodio to that rotation coming up. Hector Yan also on the active roster. I mean, what Edgar Garcia has been able to do for you, not only as a closer, but especially lately as a starter. I mean, there is a lot of wealth in the pitching room for the Guelph Royals, and you're adding to it with Claudio. And you already have a guy like Jacob Kush, as mentioned before, right? That you don't want to face the Guelph Royals in the playoffs. Let's just put it that way.
No, they are loading up. Of course, a couple of the junior players, a couple of the younger players are going to be heading back to school. So stocking up on some valuable, talented players. I mean, not to say this early, there's only 11 games left, but still the rest of July, most of August left to go. So getting some of those big names in the door early, getting them some games, getting them some experience, shaking off a little bit of that rust is going to be very important. And if anything, it's going to make those guys even better.
Here's Matthew Ward, takes a pitch right on the outside edge for strike one as Johnston ends up pulling that one into the strike zone. Upstairs, just above the hands. Ward, another one of those all-stars, saw him walking around quite a bit in Hamilton on Sunday. A 1-1, that one just missing on the inside.
Slider down in the dirt.
Ward was 0 for 2 with a strikeout on Sunday. The 2-1 puts that one into right field, and that's a base hit. First hit of the ball game goes to the Royals. Let's take a look quickly at the defense in behind Chris Torres here tonight. Tristan Clark out in left field. Noel McGarry-Doyle's in center. Clayton Keys in right. Noah Hull. Brandon Hernandez is the shortstop. Francisco Hernandez is the second baseman. Nolan Macabroda is at first. Andrew Johnston in behind the plate. So again, keep that in mind with the two Hernandez brothers. Both of them middle infielders. It's Brandon on the left side at short. It's Francisco on the right at second base. As here's Ethan Hammond, who had a phenomenal game on Saturday. Right in for a strike just above the knees.
Two singles, an RBI double as well. Not to mention fantastic defensive performances.
Oh, he had 3 singles in a run. He was part of that big eighth inning where they scored 4 runs to really open things up against the Red Sox. Patient at the plate as well. The breeze is starting to blow in to Hastings Stadium. The 1-1, that one right on the outside edge for a strike. Fans didn't like that one too much.
.250 batting average for Hammond. 23 hits, 3 of them doubles. Started to turn things around as of late. Of course, last outing against the Red Sox right here at home being key part of that.
Ooh.
Fan out there by the beer garden.
It felt like that one actually hit the shin of one of the fans that was down there, and he didn't flinch.
No.
I am telling you, man, that guy did not flinch one bit.
His friend next to him did.
It bounced in front of him. It hit him. No. How? Does he have padding? Francisco fields it to brother Brandon over to first, and it's going to get by. And over to second base is going to go Ethan Hammond. So they can't turn 2, but Now there's a runner in scoring position here for the Guelph Royals.
That's going to bring up tonight's center fielder for the Royals, Andy Leader. Leader, a three-time All-Star with the Kitchener Panthers. No nomination this year, and the stats might be the reason why. Entering tonight's contest, batting just .198, 19 hits on the season, and the K's have been an issue, 26 so far this season.
So that last play is going to go down as a fielder's choice for Hammond. Leader swings and misses for strike one. And usually when Leader is in the lineup and there's no J.D. Williams to be seen, you usually see him shift over to playing center field. He played a lot of center field in his time with the Kitchener Panthers. The 0-1 upstairs evens the count at 1-1.
Baycats not wary of a bunt attempt by Leader, playing a straight-up defense. If anything, the Hernandez brothers have shifted to their rights, our left.
Check over at second base at Hammond. Torres really keeping an eye on him. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Hammond certainly making moves out there at second, trying to get Torres to attempt to pick him off. Francisco Hernandez right there covering the bag.
It's all about keeping moving if you are Hammond there. Francisco going in. Couple of checks over. The 1-2. Right in for strike three, and Leader goes down looking. Third strikeout of the game for Torres.
And credit to Johnston on that play. That one, fastball that broke right at the last second. Johnston able to grab it, frame it up just a tiny bit. It's able to get that call.
So bring up Jordan Gallo, hitting .270 on the season. And as mentioned, one of the junior players on this Guelph roster, one of 8 junior players. Part of that Mississauga Tigers 22U program. Chopper there to Francisco. Fields it over to first in time, and they'll get the out. So the Royals strand a runner, and we're through 2 here at Hastings Stadium. Still no score between the Baycats and the Royals. You are watching Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hardline drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Rev 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. To Willie Garcia we go here for the Barrie Baycats in the top of the third. Jacob Kush has shut down 6 of 6 batters so far in this game. 19 pitches needed to get through, and it's the bottom of the order due up here for the Baycats. First pitch up for ball 1 here on Willie Garcia, the former major leaguer.
2017, played 44 games with the Chicago White Sox.
That'll go in for a strike just below belt level, but above the knees.
25 hits, 2 homers, 12 ribeyes in his only major league season.
The 1-1, that one just missing down low. Ward just couldn't pull it up. The 2-1. Garcia off the end of the bat, over to LaRue, over to first, in time. And another ground out here for Kush.
Garcia really leaning into that one. You can see Matthew Ward handing the bat back over. Looks like
another broken bat.
Something might have fractured in him.
What?
Ward was kind of pointing to it.
What are they making those bats out of in Simcoe County, folks? Where are the... Never mind. Just extra kindling. 2 bats shattered in 7 batters.
Someone will be having a nice campfire tonight.
We're only in the 3rd inning. My God, my goodness, folks. That one right on the outside, just missing the edge for Andrew Johnston, the catcher.
21-year-old, batting 160 on the season, 4 hits across 11 games, and 11 strikeouts as well.
Holds off on the swing. Good awareness there from Johnston. He looked like he was going to start going around, but just in the last moment, just held on.
Johnston, in his 2nd IBL season, spent last year with the Hamilton Cardinals, batting a slightly better 189 across the season.
Puts that one right on over to Morrow. Line outs for Johnston.
With Johnson retired, it's the 9-hole hitter, Noah Hull. 3rd baseman tonight. 24-year-old entering tonight's contest, batting .286 on the season, 22 hits, 5 of them home runs. Like the rest of this Baycats lineup, plenty of pop in his bat.
That one just missing for ball 1. Hull, 2nd year in the league, won a championship last year with the Cats. The 1-0 skies that one into foul territory.
On the way to that title in the regular season, batted .306, 22 hits in 24 games, not to mention 11 RBIs.
The 1-1, the D2 graduate from Mary's University, just fouls that one over to the left side yet again. Also part of Canada's junior national program at one point. Done quite a bit, despite just being 24 years of age. A lot of baseball ahead of Mr. Noah Hull. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down in the dirt for ball 2.
I don't mind that from Kush. Little fastball on the outside, a nice chase pitch, an account that you control. And again, shaking off signs from Ward. He knows what he wants here.
The 2-2. That's sent high, deep into right field. Leader, or rather Hammond, will get underneath it and about 5 feet in front of the warning track makes the catch. 9 up, 9 down for Kush through 3, and we're heading to the bottom of the 3rd. And you like the approach that we're seeing here from Jacob Kush. You know, just the 2 strikeouts, the defense has really helped him out.
That it has, and something Kush does so well, aside from strikeouts, is inducing soft and hard contact, but not fruitful contact. He gets a lot of pop-ups and he gets a lot of ground outs. Nothing productive, nothing constructive comes from putting bat to ball against Jacob Kush.
Well, we're going to send it back to Mr. Chris Torres on the mound. And again, you like the approach in that last inning from the Guelph Royals. Had a chance with a guy in scoring position, but just couldn't find a way to bring him in. You know, this is where you kind of want to rattle the confidence of Torres a bit early. Again, not as experienced as a starting pitcher. So if you can get to him early on and maybe get 1 or 2 on the board, especially with the way Kush is playing, you might need only just a couple.
Yeah,
And that's with all due respect to the hitters for the Barrie Baycats.
Oh, absolutely. An impressive lineup for the Baycats tonight, but we mentioned before, this Royals lineup, Dino Ramel doesn't change much with his starting lineups. There's a lot of the same guys, so they're getting a lot of reps in, they're getting a lot of experience, and I think that might be the key for the Royals tonight is experience in this league against pitchers, no disrespect, tougher than Torres. Even on the Baycats alone, we mentioned some of the big names that are having a little rest tonight, something that has led to Torres taking the mound. That being said, 2 scoreless innings in his first career start. Nothing to scoff at.
Well, here goes Ashton Patterson to lead things off here for the Guelph Royals, the left fielder. That batting average down quite a bit, but he's a guy that you really count on more for his defense than anything, and he's come up pretty timely as of late.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the numbers not so tight. 105 batting average, just 8 hits in the season so far, 23 strikeouts as well.
Takes one well inside for ball 1.
Patterson, as you mentioned, known more for his defense and for his speed. Earned the nickname the Roadrunner in his time right here in the Royal City with the Griffins.
Upstairs, 2-0.
Also came up big for the Royals when it came to the playoffs, batting .405 with 10 walks as well.
Upstairs, 3-0, really patient. But a guy that doesn't really walk all that often, just 7 walks on the season, and just the 1 walk in his last 10. Torres gets set, the 3-0. That one missing. 4-pitch walk for Ashton Patterson. And we're starting to see it a little bit more. What we saw in that first inning from Torres, where he's just not able to paint the corners.
In the second inning, he really kind of found his stride. Started being able to paint those corners with ease, but it's just not quite working out for him in the first and now here in the third.
He's around 50-50 when it comes to balls and strikes, so he's going to have to figure it out. Brando LaRue, the batter. Drops a bunt down the line. It's going to stay fair. LaRue over to first in time. But that'll advance the runner. Good, solid play there from Brando to just get the runner into scoring position.
It's fundamental baseball. Just advance the runner by any means necessary, especially when it's Ashton Patterson, a guy so speedy. At this point, anything into the outfield may very well cash Patterson in from second. That's the kind of speed that he carries with him.
So that'll bring up Connor Morrow. Struck out his last time up. Check over at second base at Ashton. Good frame job there from Johnston, although it looked like it painted the corner anyway. Johnston just bringing it in for emphasis.
Really hammering the point home. And Morrow really not pleased with the call. Talking things over with the home plate umpire. Really giving him a piece of his mind.
Going to get resettled in here, batting .212 after that last at-bat. Check over at second base. upstairs. Well, I don't think you're going to start the road runner here in this situation.
No,
It just feels like they are, they're ready for it. They know the speed that he has, and they're keeping Hull close-ish to third.
Patterson does have quite the big lead. Dancing out there at second.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
And that's the risk. You finally have a runner in scoring position. I mean, you're getting around Takamatsu waiting on deck, Wilson waiting in the wings should things advance that far. You've got some big bats coming up. Don't risk anything. Keep that runner in scoring position.
Torres going to step off for a moment.
It's been really fascinating to see the different approaches that Kush and Torres respectively bring to the mound. Kush, a flamethrower in every regard, taking seconds between pitches, just hammering. Torres takes his time, checks in on his runners, makes the batter wait for the next pitch.
The 1-2 missing outside, 2-2.
Both approaches have their merits. Going fast gives the batter very little time to think about the next pitch and get prepared. Leaving things a little long makes them overthink, over-prepare, and that's where you can fool them with something like a changeup, a curveball even. We'll see if he can produce one here.
Big gap between first and second. The 2-2. Fly high, and that'll go into foul territory. Drop right in front of the batting cages, in behind over at Hastings.
And as per usual, a horde of screaming kids chasing after it. Always great to see the fans packing the stands here at Hastings, especially the kids during this summer break. Perhaps a couple future Royals watching on.
2 balls, 2 strikes here on Connor. And another time is going to be called here as Connor has to get reset. Stealth-like. Cerebral in his approach, and time is going to be called here yet again.
And
now there's some conversation happening. The third base umpire signaling, saying, hey, that's 2.
And Dino Ramel is a little less than happy out there at third.
Torres taking a little bit here. Comes the 2-2 offering. In, and that'll hit Morrow. Looks like it's right on the wrist area. And he's going to take a base the hard way. That one got away from Torres. Trying to pitch inside, and here comes the trainer to check in on Connor Morrow.
Yeah, we mentioned the velocity that Torres reportedly brings to the table, and seeing it on display here in that sickening crunch when it made contact. Oof. It just gives you goosebumps. It's nothing you ever want to see any batter on any team getting plunked, but with a fastball so fast out of the hand of Torres after that long wait. It's good to see Morrow shaking things off and heading down to first base.
Yeah, right on that right wrist. That'll be the 37th time a Guelph batter has been hit by a pitch this season. Welland leads the league with 38. So again, we've talked about Wilson being clunked more oftentimes than any player in the league individually, but as a team, Guelph has been hit now 37. Guelph batters, rather, have been hit by a pitch 37 times this year.
They certainly do make them tough here in the Royal City.
Must be something in the water. Here's Garrett Takamatsu. Walked his last time up. Swing and a miss for strike 1. And now here with just 1 out. Runners on first and second. A big bat at the plate. You would like to get maybe 1 even into left center here if you're Garrett.
There's no better batter for this position. The former MVP leading the team with that .323 batting average.
fouls that one away right into the batting cages.
Also leads the team with 24 RBIs and 30 hits on the season. Really leading the way in a year that the Royals have struggled a little more on the offensive side. Not too many averages peaking over the 300 level, but Takamatsu has stayed level throughout this season.
Torres gets the sign from Johnston. The 0-2 offering. Up coming into the dirt. Good job there by Johnston to block.
Yeah, sliding into it, immediately whipping his mask off. Fully prepared to take down Patterson if need be, but runners stay right where they are and we'll proceed as we normally do.
Well, Johnston, we've already seen it. He's got a good arm. He threw out Brando LaRue on the strike him out, throw him out in the first. So you have to be very selective in terms of your aggressiveness on the base path. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. 2 outs here in the third.
And there you can see Takamatsu sharing a couple words with Wilson on his way up to the bag, whether that's words of encouragement, words of advice, or even a little tip-off on what Torres is throwing.
Oh, that is 100% tipping off what he saw at the plate there. 100%. I think he saw something.
From one big bat to another.
Or just telling him, hey, be patient. Lines that one down the line, foul, and everybody getting out of the way. Did that hit another human being?
I honestly think that...
No, you know what? I think that hit the light stand right in front.
Hit the light stand, skipped just in front of a fan or two, and rolled its way into the outfield. Close call.
Well, Wilson has struck out in this game. An opportunity to open the scoring for Liam. Again, you talk about the patience. Torres still around 50-50 when it comes to his location. Right in for a strike.
And that one, another attempt by Torres to paint the corners. Johnston hauling it in for that extra emphasis.
Well, it looked like it was going to paint the edge anyway. Just in terms of the location there. Just a good job by Johnston as well.
Hammering the point home.
Here's Liam facing an 0-2. Fouls that one away. And if you're Liam Wilson, if you're seeing anything that's going to be remotely close to hitting the strike zone, you got to foul these pitches off. You really got to shake up Torres and get that pitch count up. Really shake his confidence, because sooner or later that one pitch is going to, really make the Baycats pay.
And here through 2 2/3, already approaching 50 pitches thrown. Got to keep running that count up.
Well, here comes number 50. The 0-2, that one into the gap. Circling around third is Patterson. He gets the wave home in safe. 1-0 Royals. And Liam gets into second. That's overthrown. 2-0 Royals. Liam Wilson over to third base. Some base path shenanigans, and it makes them pay. The Royals get 2 across.
Liam Wilson is made for big-time moments. Picking up his 8th and 9th RBIs of the season, already at 180 in his 7 years in the IBL. He's a big-time bat, and he comes up clutch for the Royals here in the bottom of the third.
Well, it'll go down as a single, because the throw to home, Liam saw his chance. That's that aggressiveness in the base running there. Testing the arm, goes to second base, overthrown, and Liam makes it to third base. And that is the big moment that you needed if you are the Guelph Royals very early on in this game. And here comes Matthew Ward, who is 1 for 1. There is going to be an error charged to the catcher on that last throw over to second base that allowed Liam to advance.
It was a rushed throw, and yeah, should be counted as such.
Upstairs, 1-0. It'll be the first error charged of the game, the 31st error charged against the Baycats this season. The Hernandez brothers on the edge of the grass. The 1-0 upstairs, 2-0.
Another slider high once again. I don't think I've seen Torres place that pitch inside the zone throughout the 2 2/3 innings that we've seen so far from him. Something he has to tighten up as this one progresses.
That one misses, 3-0. Continuing to have trouble finding the strike zone.
And for the Royals hitters, you got to be patient. Torres, his control is really spiraling away from him, quite literally at times. Let him pitch to you.
The 3-0, upstairs, ball 4. And that'll be another walk, the 4th walk issued by Torres in this game, and that'll put the runners on the corners.
That's going to bring up another one of the young guns on this Royals roster, Ethan Hammond. 15 RBIs on the season so far. And as we mentioned, partner, came up big for the Royals in their last home game just this past weekend against the Brantford Red Sox. See if he can keep the hot streak going here against Torres.
The delivery in for strike 1, just on the inside.
Royals Kingdom in full throat tonight, letting the umps know what they think of that call. But it stands nonetheless, 0-1 count.
Torres gets set. Really taking his time here. The 0-1, right in for a strike. That one there, he just wanted to place that one perfectly with the fastball. And again, the fans not liking the strike zone there, as that one just getting on the outside edge.
Yeah, and that's what Torres has been able to do very successfully so far. Pitch outside to these batters, trying to hit those bottom corners, and it has worked to a certain extent. Dino Ramel visibly frustrated over there at third.
Here comes the 0-2 from Torres. That one's fouled back, right into the screen. Good job there by Hammond to stay alive.
Should Hammond get on base, Andy Leader is in the on-deck circle, waiting in the wings. Torres again taking his time.
He's really cerebral in his approach here. Here comes the 0-2 yet again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Torres. But we're through 3 here at Hastings Stadium, and the Guelph Royals have a 2-0 lead thanks to a 2-run single from Liam Wilson. We're going to throw it to field level because I think everybody's getting ready, getting set, and getting to go onto the base path. To the youngsters we go here at Hastings Stadium. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Pare, Josh Alderman here with you. Top of the fourth and top of the order here for the Barrie Baycats. Jacob Kush has shut down 9 of 9 so far in this game. Let's see what the Baycats have seen from Kush so far this evening. That one missing inside, 1-0. It's that second time around the order where they have a little bit of a book here on what Kush is delivering tonight. Knocked over to LaRue. Over to first in time. Second straight time Noel McGarry Doyle has knocked it over to the second baseman.
That's exactly what I was talking about last inning. Kush produces contact, but not productive contact. It's either groundouts or it's pop-outs or flyouts. While he does throw the heat with startling efficiency and gets strikeouts with ease, it's that other side of the game that doesn't get as much recognition.
That one missing inside here on Brandon Hernandez, the shortstop. He flew one out to Ashton Patterson over and left the last time up. Flyers it down the line, and that's a foul ball just by mere inches. That really did not miss by much.
Yeah, if the breeze was blown in a different direction, that may very well have been a double. But no dice for Brandon Hernandez.
So we'll try again here with Brandon.
Of course, older brother Francisco waiting in the on-deck circle.
Puts that one foul, 1-2. Brandon this season against the Royals hitting .353. He's 6 for 17 on the year. 3 doubles. That's the only extra base hits on his ledger. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Puts that one into left field, and that one is going to get right into the glove of Ashton Patterson. 2 away.
And that's exactly what we've been talking about, not just tonight, but through the last few games. That's what Patterson brings to the table. Not so much a big bat, not so much a guy that racks up hits with efficiency. It's the defense. It's the speed that he brings to the table that's made him such a successful addition to this Royals squad and such a key fixture out there in left.
Well, here's Francisco Hernandez hitting .333 against the Royals this year. That one missing upstairs as Kush was looking for the top corner. Albeit Francisco, this is only the second game that he has played in the season series. Flares that one into foul ground.
I believe that bounced off one of the light posts here at Hastings.
Let's have not another one of those incidents where you have the glass shattering from a baseball. And that happened earlier on this year. Everybody was all right. The 1-1. That one's down the line, foul. Bounced off a couple of trees. Looks like my golf game. Francisco lining one right to Kush his last time up. Just a one-hopper right on over to him. The 1-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Strike 3, and Jacob Kush is cooking. He's got the chef's hat on, folks, as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning. And the Royals leading by 2.
Well, it's very simple to say that Kush, again, flamethrower, racks up the strikeouts. That's just his 3rd one of the game through 4 innings. Again, going back to that point of just being efficient up there on the mound, pounding the strike zone. Very few, just a handful, 2, 3, 4 seconds in between his pitches. At the lowest allowed and just hammers it in there to induce unproductive contact. So efficient is Kush.
On 42 pitches in. I mean, when you break that down for those that are math aficionados, that is just 10.5 pitches per inning for Jacob Kush. That'll help you go deeper into ball games. And now the offense has to do a little bit more to give them a little bit of an extra cushion. They already get a couple of runs in that last inning, but here's where you really need to add to it. The bottom of the order due up here for the Royals in this inning.
Now, not that warm-up pitches are any indication of how a pitcher is going to throw in an inning, but we just saw 3 balls in the dirt that Torres has thrown that ultimately have gotten away from Johnston. Whether that's an indicator of how his inning is going to go, I don't know. But we will just have to wait and see. Control has not been the name of Torres' game tonight. Tighten it up a little bit in the second, but as that scoreboard will tell you, let it get away from him in the bottom of the third.
Well, I can tell you that they're confident in him because there's a couple of guys standing up in the Baycats bullpen, but I don't really see any pitches being thrown. I think it's just stretching the legs out, just in case as this game goes along. But they will continue to ride with the former farmhand of the Seattle Mariners and Miami Marlins. Here's Andy Later, who struck out the last time up. That one right into the gap, base hit to lead things off here in the fourth.
One pitch is all it takes, and that calls back to one of my big points that I was making in the Royals' last home game, is that to get back on track, to push themselves into a playoff position, they need to do more textbook fundamental baseball right, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. First pitch single, right into shallow right field. Nothing complicated, nothing technical about it, just good, simple baseball, and if you're the Royals, that is how you're going to push yourselves up the table.
Here's Jordan Gallo, 0 for 1 on the Knights. That one just missing at the knees, 1-0.
Gallo, 7 RBIs on the season. 3 of them coming from a monster mash he hit just a matter of weeks ago. His first home run in a Royals uniform.
The delivery, that one just missing on the outside. 2-0. And Gallo, you talk about that home run. That was against these very same Baycats on June 24th. That was part of that 7-3 victory. It's 1 for 3, but that one swing is all they really needed from him. The 2-0 missing outside. 3-0.
Baycats looking to avoid a bunt situation, playing both Hernandez brothers back towards the outfield grass, but leaving Hall right in on the infield.
Check over on Leader. Here comes the 3-0, right down Broadway for a strike. Well, I can tell you that the Royals, not really as known for their base stealing ability as compared to the rest of the league. They are, though, 39 for 49 on stolen bases this season, so not too shabby in that category. The 3-1 into the dirt, ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second here for Ashton Patterson. And already, I mean, you add those up, the walks are starting to become a problem for the Barrie Baycats.
And that's not to say there weren't indicators in Torres' last 2 appearances. Of course, 5 walks in just 1.1 innings pitched. No strikeouts prior to tonight's game.
Macabrota into the edge of the grass just in front of Jordan Gallo over at first. Trying to think about bunting there. He was in a bunt position, was Patterson, and you saw Macabrota immediately charging toward home plate.
And intentional or otherwise, not putting bat to ball with that bunt is a good way of feeling out the Baycats defense. How quick are they going to be if you are going to try and drop down that bunt again? Good feeling out from Patterson.
Check over at second, the 1-0, upstairs, 2-0. And time is going to be called. Johnston's going to come to the mound. And so will Brandon Hernandez. So they try to figure out a situation here.
Still no movement in the bullpen. Matlow and company having faith in their starter to pull through the jam.
Conversation is brief, and again, it's a 2-0 count. And again, when you look at that pitch count, 66 on the night already here for Torres here in the fourth. 34 have gone for strikes, 32 have missed the plate.
Fairly even are the pitches tonight. Just that 2-pitch difference that you mentioned, partner.
Torres getting set here for the 2-0. Down and missing there at the knees, 3-0. Good patience there from Patterson. He walked and scored in the last inning. The Royals fans getting in behind him. That one missing inside. The bases are loaded with nobody out.
And that'll flip things over to the top of the order and over to Brando LaRue.
Well, here's going to be a mound visit to start things off because Torres is really having a time trying to figure out that strike zone. And again, no movement in the bullpen. Now there's somebody throwing.
So again, still that confidence that he can finish out the inning even with no outs on the board and the bases loaded. We'll have to see if things come to a run or two scored, if they pull them early. Very brief mound visit as well.
I think I know what the message that there is. Throw for strikes. Give me some strikes. And it's going to be tough here because, again, bases loaded, nobody out, and now it's the top of the order. Brando LaRue, Connor Morrow, Garrett Takamatsu, the next three in line here for the Royals. Big situation here for both sides. Brando with that sack bunt his last time up. And everybody playing in. That one in for a strike, painting the inside edge.
And that's what I like to see from Torres. The fastball just hasn't been successful for him. That's what's led to all of these walks. Getting into the more technical stuff, the sliders, the curveballs, the changeups. That might be what gets him out of this jam.
That one put into right field. That's going to drop. Base hit. One coming in to score. Losing his footing over there, rounding third was Gallo, and they're going to keep everybody safe on the base path. A base hit for Brando LaRue. Make it 3-0 Guelph.
Some fancy footwork from Gallo out there at second. Able to recover from the slip, trip, and fall and get there just in time to beat a wicked throw from Clayton Keys out there in right field.
Didn't miss him over at second by much. Patterson stays safe. And similar defense here. Everybody playing into the grass here for Connor Morrow. Or rather, no, this is not Connor Morrow. This is Anderson Fenwick, Haas Fenwick, taking over for Morrow. So if you recall, the last time he was up was hit by a pitch on the wrist, and it looks like it's enough where Morrow will come out of the ball game. So Haas Fenwick here at the plate. Holds off, that gets away. One run will come in to score, and it's 4-0 Royals. Everybody advances.
And that goes back to my previous point. The fastball is not working for Torres tonight. It's ultimately surprising that a guy with so many breaking balls in his arsenal that it's the fastball that's dropping in the dirt, that's spiraling away from him. Needs to get back to the technical stuff to get out of this jam. Fastball ain't it.
Here comes the 1-0 to Haas. Torres really taking his time, in fact. Here it comes. That one's going to hit Fenwick on the back, and the bases are going to be loaded again, as that was a hard fastball that went right toward the tailbone.
Not that it's a stat that you want to be near the top of the list of, but Haas now nearing Wilson's level of numbers. 6 hit by pitches on the season so far.
Well, I think this might be it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, here comes Matlow. Did he make the signal? I saw someone throwing.
I believe he did.
Well, we will be back after this. Don't go anywhere. This is Royals TV. Bases loaded. Nobody out in the 4th. The Royals threatening to add more. Welcome back to Royals TV. Braden Pakula will come into the ball game here for the Barrie Baycats, who are in quite the jam. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, and the Royals have a 4-0 lead. They will turn to some northern blood to try to get them out of this one. Here's Garrett Takamatsu. 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. First pitch he sees, launches that one high, deep into center field. It's going to stay in the ballpark, deep enough where 1-1 run will come in to score very easily, and it's 5-0 Guelph. Sac fly from Garrett.
And again, that's what the Royals need to keep hammering at, need to keep working on. Fundamental stuff. Sure, it's not a grand slam. Sure, it's not a hit, but the job gets done. The RBI, the run, I should say, is cashed in regardless.
So this will bring up Liam Wilson. He's 1 for 2 with a single. The Royals batting .269 on the season against lefties, just .226 by comparison against righties. So when they go up against lefties, they tend to have a little bit more success, albeit the sample size is a lot more towards the righties. 486 at-bats against righties, just 171 against lefties this year. But the numbers don't lie. 1 strike here on Wilson. Runners now on the corners. Into the dirt, that one goes. Pakala, of course, part of that junior Baycats team that was at the national qualifiers in Kitchener over the weekend.
Pakala enters tonight's contest, or entered, with a 1.97 ERA. Across 9 games, has 13 innings pitched, 1 win to his name. Walked a lot less than he's struck out. 4 walks compared to 15 punch-outs. Matlow not playing around by going to the son of Sudbury.
1 ball, 1 strike. The delivery inside, 2-1.
Pakala making great strides since last season. Didn't make any playoff appearances for the Baycats, but in the regular season last summer, pitched .834, 2 losses, 18 innings pitched across 12 games, only struck out 16. Youngster really starting to turn a new page here.
The 2-1 inside, 3-1.
Just maybe not tonight. Seems a little slow coming out of the gate, and despite the stats, you know, saying that he's been impressive, dominant even in relief these last few games, those inside pitches are not working well for him.
Wilson cues that one down the line. It's a fair ball into left field. It goes deep. 1 run comes in to score. An RBI single for Wilson. Another one coming on the board here for the Guelph Royals.
And I'm sure Jacob Kush is smiling ear to ear. This kind of run support, this kind of backup from his offense, got to boost his confidence, fill him with momentum.
And think about the rest that he's getting here, too. This is a long inning. You've had a pitching change in the midst of it as well, not to mention the amount of time in between pitches when Torres was out there. I mean, you're getting quite a bit of rest here if you're Jacob Kush. The question is, does that work for or against him? We'll have to see. But nonetheless, here's Matthew Ward, his 3rd plate appearance of the Knights. First pitch he sees, base hits. Nobody will come home this time around, but the bases remain loaded and still just the 1 out. And the 9th batter of the inning coming up here for the Royals in Ethan Hammond.
The Royals have gone from top to bottom. They have gone through the full extent of their order in this inning alone.
Ethan has gotten on base already, got on with a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. First pitch he sees, flies that one into foul territory. So they're really turning on these early offerings. They did it to Torres at the beginning of this inning as well. You know, really, giving it to Pakala here in the last couple batters where they've just turned on pitches early on. The 0-1, that one missing on the outside. Again, Ward on first, Wilson on second, Fenwick on third. The 1-1 missing outside yet again. It's been the common salvo. That strike zone hasn't really moved. If you're talking about the calls from home plate umpire Daniel Newell. That one into the dirt. But that hasn't really been a factor on 50-50 balls. There have been a lot of pitches that just outright missed the strike zone.
Yeah, the strike zone hasn't moved. It's the pitches that have. Down in the dirt, seemingly every time Torres and now Pakala try and throw away, they end up paying.
The 3-1. That one's fouled off the facing of the grandstand.
And I like that swing from Hammond. If he had let that one go, it would have been called a strike. Might as well take a hack at it, an account that's working in your favor. Now he's got to deal with a full count.
Gets set, the 3-2. That one missing, and that's a bases loaded walk. Make it A touchdown and an extra point for the Royals. It's 7-0. And they have officially batted around the order, and back to the man who led off this inning, Andy Leader.
And here I was thinking that heading into this inning, putting Pakala in is a no-nonsense move.
First pitch he sees, flares that one into foul ground.
But he looks shaken up out there on the mound. He's kicking at the dirt a lot. He's staring down his feet, taking more time in between pitches than he has in his previous appearances.
Pakala taking his time here. The 0-1 down in the dirt. Look, and when you combine the appearance from Torres and Pakala, you're still looking at about a 50-50 offering of balls and strikes. The 1-1, that one missing inside. Didn't go around as they appealed to the first base umpire.
Narrowly missing Leader was that one.
Leader 1 for 2. He led off this inning with a single, later came around to score. The 2-1, that one in for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering there down the line. Hull gets to it, tags the bag, over to first, not in time. Another run comes in to score. 8-0 Royals. An infield single there from Leader as he just beats out the throw from Noah Hull.
And what a throw it was. Great defensive presence by Hull out there at third all night long. Really showing off the skills. Of course, getting the tag to force the out, and that throw just a second earlier and we would have been looking at a double play.
So here comes Jordan Gallo, 0 for 1 with a walk. Right at the knees for strike 1.
As we mentioned, his first time up, his only home run of the season, a 3-run jack coming against these very same Barrie Baycats. Last time they were here at Hastings.
The 0-1 into the dirt. And Johnston's had to do that quite a bit, just protecting the baseball in front of him. Hasn't let a lot of them get away from him, but he has had to protect the bottom of the zone very much in this game.
But he's done a great job of it. As you mentioned, partner, only a few getting past him.
The 1-1. That'll go into foul ground. So everybody goes running after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this is where you really need to attack Gallo here and just get that third strike, get out of it. It has been a long inning here for the Baycats. It has been a successful one for the Royals. Chopper down the line, foul, and it will continue.
Staying alive is Gallo, and I don't mind that swing at all. That one had some break to it. Looked like a changeup to me. Dropping right at the last second, and yeah, if he didn't swing at it, would have been called a strike anyways.
The 1-2. Right over to Francisco Hernandez. Gets it on the hop over to first in time, and that'll do it. But not before the Royals send 11 to the plate and score 6 runs. They make it 8-0 as we head to the 5th here at Hastings Stadium. You are watching Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Pare, Josh Alderman here with you. Don't let your eyes deceive you. It is an 8-0 scoreline. The Guelph Royals with a massive fourth inning. And the Barrie Baycats looking to solve Jacob Kush here so far tonight. They haven't been able to do it. That one misses inside, and Nolan Macabroda. It'll be Macabroda, Clark, and Keys due up here. The 1-0 missing outside.
Macabroda having himself quite the season so far, but like the rest of these Baycats, hasn't been able to solve Jacob Kush.
Flied high. It's going to go into foul ground. Gallo trying to get underneath it. Lost his footing and lost the baseball, and it gets away from him. So it looks like Brando LaRue has shifted over to shortstop, and Fenwick is now playing over at second base. So again, if you're just joining us, coming out of the ball game was Connor Morrow. He was hit by a pitch in the wrist, was favoring it quite a bit, and had to come out of the ball game. That one into the dirt. 3-1. So again, LaRue is over at short, and Fenwick is over at second base. The 3-1. First base runner of the night for the Barrie Baycats as Jacob Kush walks Nolan Macabroda.
Macabroda picking up his 18th walk of the season, and like you mentioned, partner, that's the first base runner on board for the Barrie Baycats. Imagine saying that sentence prior to this game, not knowing that Kush was going to be the starter, that the Baycats wouldn't have a runner until the top of the 5th inning. Really dominant stuff from Kush tonight.
First pitch seen there from Tristan Clark is going to go foul.
Clark, one of the many All-Stars on this Baycats team, selected to this weekend's festivities, last weekend's, I should say.
The 0-1, that one just missing at the knees. So we start to go under the lights a little bit more here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. This day turns into nights. The 1-1, chopper. LaRue over for 2. He got him. A 6-4-3 double play, and they erase the base runner.
And just like that, the defense backing up Kush, helping him out. And yeah, just a thing of beauty. LaRue, Wilson, even Fenwick covering the bag, doing a great job there. All coming together to take care of the runner.
Well, with 2 away now, here's Clayton Keys, the right fielder. He struck out back in the 2nd inning. As Kush will get another baseball here, and Mr. Newell will dust off the plate. Kush into his windup. That one missing at the knees. 1-0. That pitch count not up there as much. Remember, he only needed 42 pitches to get out of the 4th inning. That one off the end of the bat goes foul.
And just goes to show you that for how dominant he's been, he's only struck out 3 Baycats tonight.
Well, it's been the defense.
Absolutely. And that's what Kush does so well. Tease him up so that the defense can spike it home.
Low on 1. That one laced into foul ground right into the fencing and behind home plate.
Rattling the fencing. That had plenty of power behind it. Keys, not exactly known for his pop, just a home run on the season, 7 ribeyes as well.
The 1-2, swing and a miss, he got him. Kush has faced the minimum through 5. It's still 8-0 Royals. And another quick inning for Jacob Kush. She walks the first batter, but he gets out of the jam.
And quick right there. That's the key word. Jacob Kush, so efficient, so deadly up there on the mound, and he really sets his own pace. Makes the Baycats bend his will to his speed. As we mentioned before, wastes very little time, just continues to pound the strike zone pitch after pitch after pitch, does it in very quick succession. Something that the two Baycats pitchers we've seen tonight don't seem to be playing with. Torres taking 30-plus seconds in between his pitches, calling multiple timeouts, really taking his time, and Pakala, a guy who normally pitches on the faster end of things, a la Kush, slowing the game down. Really seems like the Royals have gotten into his head. He's taking more time in between his pitches, picking his spots a little less effectively. Of course, he's given up those couple runs, but he still got out of the inning, still got out of the jam by taking his time. So it's the duality of these two teams, these two pitching staffs that we've seen tonight. Whether or not that will continue is a story for future innings.
Well, there's still a lot of ball to be played here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph, but the Guelph Royals, if anything, you have an 8-0 lead here. You let this slip away from you, I mean, quite simply, it would be inexcusable.
Disastrous.
But right here, right now, this is another moment here where you can build off a big inning. Let's see if they can do it here. It'll be Ashton Patterson due up, Brando LaRue and Haas Fenwick in behind him. Again, an 8-0 scoreline as that one goes in for strike one, and Braden Pakala comes back out to pitch for the Baycats. Patterson has walked twice in this game. That one missing on the outside. So no official at-bat for him so far. He has scored twice in this game as well. That one missing on the outside. 2-1.
And Pakala, something that's led to the walks that he's given up, the runs that he's given up, is that he's trying to get chase pitches in.
That'll go in for a strike. 2-2.
But that's not his bread and butter. That's not what he's used to. He's a pound the strike zone kind of guy, paint the corners. See if he can tighten up.
That one missing inside. Full count here on Ashton. And that's something Ashton has done quite a bit here in this game. Just laying off some 50-50 balls. He's done a really good job of it. The 3-2 missing outside, and a third walk issued to Ashton Patterson. He's seeing something out there.
Absolutely, and for a guy who hasn't walked too much in the season prior to tonight's game, he's really making hump for it here tonight. Really using that vision effectively, and just 22 years of age. Veteran vision up there at the plate.
That'll go in for strike one here on Brando. He has a sack bunt, a single, has walked in this game. He's done a little bit of everything, even an RBI. The 0-1 flared high, and it'll go into foul ground. Macabrota chasing it down, and it lands just in front of the Baycats dugout.
Couple Baycats were heading for the hills, looking to get out of the way of that one, and a night where we've seen many people, fans and batters alike, being plunked by pitches. Good to see no one hurt or damaged in that exchange.
An 0-2 count here on Brando LaRue. Nobody out, runner on first. The 0-2, another one wasted.
Patterson up there at first, taking an uncharacteristically conservative lead, staying very close to the bag. For a guy that's known as the road runner, not really in a position to steal right now.
Pakala keeping an eye on him. He's got that lefty, so chopper in the infield. Hull over to second, and it is mishandled there by Francisco Hernandez. Over to third goes Ashton Patterson. So runners on the corners here with 2 away. Another defensive mistake by the Barrie Baycats.
And not just the Barrie Baycats, but Francisco Hernandez. What really kicked things off was his inability to haul down a Johnston throw over to second. That's the play where Wilson advanced up to third on the single.
That one missing inside. 1-0 here on Haas.
So not errors per se, but fumbles, issues that need to be ironed out if he wants to help keep his team in this game.
That one's going to go foul. Well, just to give you an error count, Brandon Hernandez leads the team with 7 errors on the year. Francisco has 3 errors on the year. 1-1 count here on Haas. That one just missing. And, you know, that might have been a call that you might have gotten earlier on in the game. That felt eerily similar to a lot of the pitches Torres would throw and Johnston would try to pull in.
I think with that one there, Johnson was a little too emotive with that one.
That one yet again, and you can see the frustration from Johnston. Did not like that last frame. Did not like that call from the home plate umpire. You can see him just having a couple of words with him there too. So frustration starting to set in on the youngster in behind home plate.
He's lost the subtlety in his framing that he had earlier in the game, now letting his emotions get the better of him as he swings his arm around.
The 3-1 upstairs, but it clips the strike zone just barely. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
No framing needed for that one. Perfectly placed was that pitch, and now a full count, runners on the corners.
Pakala will get the sign. This is a big out if he can get it. That one missing on the outside, and the bases are loaded here for Garrett Takamatsu. And Garrett also has been doing a little bit of everything in this game, despite his stat line only showing going 0 for 1. A sac fly, has that RBI on his ledger, and here comes a mound visit. Braden Pakala again coming into this game for Chris Torres. See a little bit of movement in the bullpen for Barrie.
Nothing definite yet. No pitches being thrown, just some stretches, some players watching by the fence, and as expected, zero activity in the Royals bullpen. Not a pitcher to be seen.
So a very quick mound visit. And we'll see what Garrett can do here.
Number 4, Garrett Takamatsu.
Garrett a walk, a strikeout, and a sac fly in this game. Bases are loaded. Missing inside, 1-0.
Takamatsu, despite swinging a big bat, a powerful bat, likes to pick his pitches, pick his moments. No one shines brighter.
That one fouled back.
25 RBIs on the season. 6 home runs on his ledger as well.
Royals batting .316 with the bases loaded this year. No homers to their credit in this situation. 41 RBI. That one's crushed into center field. It's going all the way back, and that's going to get by the center fielder. One run will come in to score. Circling around third as LaRue make it 10-0 Royals. A hard-hit baseball from Garrett Takamatsu, and the route is on here at Hastings Stadium.
They say when it rains, it pours. The Baycats begging for an umbrella at this point. The Royals just keep adding on to this already impressive lead. And on that last play, Noel McGarry-Doyle just lost it in the lights. It's as simple as that. The sun's gone down, the lights are up here at Hastings, and he had a fair read on that. He has the speed to get in there to make those kind of catches. A guy known for his offensive stuff, but can back it up on the defensive side when needed. Just lost it.
That one's fouled away. So here is Liam Wilson, 2 for 3 on the night. That one right down McDonnell for a strike.
Runners Takamatsu at second, Haas Fenwick over there at third. Still no outs in the inning.
Really taking his time, and someone's going to call for time out there. I think it was Liam.
I believe so. Pakala drawing that out.
Really waited for him to move, and
seemed like a game of chicken. Who's going to make the jump first?
well, still nobody out here in the fifth. The 0-2. That one gets by, and here comes another run to score. Another Royals run makes it 11-0. Because this is really getting away from the Baycats at this point. Everybody advances on that throw.
And to think, this isn't the Royals at full power just yet. We mentioned the names Torres, Jan, Custodio, still to come on the season.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'll just throw over to first base. No, he can't get it. He's safe. A bobble from Nolan Macabroda, and all kinds of misfortune plaguing the Baycats here tonight.
That just about sums up their night. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. A night of misfortune. Ultimately, they've paid the price for it by their own design or by simple strings of bad luck.
So for those that are scoring at home, yes, that does go down, I believe, as a strikeout, but the error will be charged. That one's laced high by Ward. It's got some steam. It's going all the way back, and making the grab in center field is Noel McGarry-Doyle, and an even dozen are now on the board here for the Guelph Royals.
And we mentioned before a couple times that if the breeze had been blowing a different way, we would have been telling a different story. Well, there's currently very little to no breeze at all here at Hastings, so that was just pure power from Ward to jack that out to center. And yeah, right in front of the 369 sign, McGarry-Doyle in the warning track, back to the fence, made the catch, and the run does come in to score, though.
That'll miss for ball 1. Ethan Hammond, the batter. Officially 0 for 2 on the night. The 1-0, that one missing.
And that's something I've seen from Pakala that I just don't agree with. He's trying to get chase pitches. And in a game like this where the fastballs are clearly not working for the Baycats and Johnston isn't able to catch up to them, not a wise decision.
That one's flared high. Stays in the infield and grabbed there by Nolan Macabroda. 2 down here in the 5th.
That is going to bring up the 3-time All-Star, Andy Leader. Leader looking for a return to form. Last year in the regular season, batted .250 in a Royals uniform, 28 hits in 26 games, 3 of them triples, not to mention 14 RBIs.
That'll go in for strike one. Leader reached on a fielder's choice back in the fourth, also a single and a run. Was one of 2 batters to get to the dish twice in the last inning. And sends that one foul.
And that's where I've been talking about the fundamental baseball, the textbook stuff that the Royals need to do right to succeed. It all starts with guys like Leader who need a comeback.
Cued over to Brandon, and he can't handle it. Everybody's safe. And this inning will continue. It has gone from bad to worse here for the Barrie Baycats. It just has not been their nights.
Again, everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
The defensive errors, the hits.
A good performance from the Royals, just a series of unfortunate events for the Baycats.
That one's put into right field, another base hit. And Wilson's going to test the arm coming home. He'll come in to score, no throw, make it 13-0.
Nice round. Baker's dozen on the board for the Royals now. And the inning isn't over yet. For the Royals, the fun just continues. Still 2 runners aboard.
And the second straight inning where the Royals have bat around the order. The 10th batter of the inning. Here's Ashton Patterson. Puts that one high. This might do it. It's got some steam, but it's going to stay in the ballpark, and that'll be caught by Noel McGarry Doyle to end the inning. But another 5 spot on the board here for the Royals has opened up a 13-0 lead as we head to the 6th inning here at Hastings Stadium. You are watching Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Pare, Josh Alderman here with you, and we're getting to a point in this ball game, Josh, where the old war stories of broadcast lore might start creeping into our conversations as this game goes along, because this game has just gotten away from the Barrie Baycats. Still a lot of game to play, but a 13-run cushion for Jacob Kush, and he has been unstoppable here in this start as their strike one on Willie Garcia.
He's been smoking the Baycats left, right, and center, and like I mentioned before, so efficient, right back at it.
That went into the dirt, 1-1. Still has only faced the minimum in this game. This is only the second plate appearance for Willie Garcia. That one just missing on the outside.
Garcia, 28 hits on the season so far. As Kush now shaking off 3 successive pitches.
That one's crushed high, and that is going to drop into right center. The no-no is no more, and Willie Garcia gets on with a base hit.
And, yeah, it looks to me, Ward pointing out that that bat splintered at the handle with that hit.
Another broken bat for the Barrie Baycats.
Make it 3 on the night. But regardless of the state of the bat, the job gets done. As Garcia, as you mentioned, partner, the first hit of tonight's contest for the Baycats. Just the second base runner.
So here's Andrew Johnston, the catcher. Upstairs and in for ball 1.
This is such a stark contrast to the last time Kush faced the Baycats back in Game 2 of the Dominico Cup Finals.
Swing and a miss.
Went through 5 1/3 innings pitched, gave up 3 earned runs, 3 hits, walked 4, and ultimately had the loss on the night. That was the very last time he faced the Baycats prior to tonight.
The 1-1 missing inside. And he's really changing up his locations here on this at-bat.
And that's a sign of a good pitcher is, okay, this spot isn't working. All right, I'm going to move around a little more. And when you have the heat that Kush does, it just makes sense.
That one off the bat and to the backstop. Foul ball. Nobody advancing on that one because of the contact made.
Any spot in the zone is dangerous for Kush to place a heater. Very rarely goes to the breaking ball. Goes with what he knows, and as you can see up there on the scoreboard, it has paid off for him.
Up to 62 pitches. The 2-2 missing upstairs, was looking for that top corner. Full counts. Johnston lined one over to Brando LaRue. Actually, he lined it over to Connor Morrow at the time. Feels so long ago. 3-2, that one's fouled back. Have to check my notes to see who was actually in at that point in time. Again, if you're just joining us, Connor Morrow out of the ball game. He was the starting shortstop, took a pitch in on the right wrist and had to leave the game. As the Hastings faithful get underneath, there's a swing and he gets a piece of it.
And just got a piece of it by the looks of it. A very late swing, and that one in on the handle. By the way that Johnston is looking at the bat. Hopefully this one doesn't break. But ultimately he stays alive.
The 3-2, that one's fouled off, right off the facing of the grandstand. Well, we can tell you that Brayden Pakula has been quite busy over the last few days. Mentioned that his last appearance here for the senior Baycats was over the weekend on Saturday. Pitched the previous day, went 3 1/2 or 3 1/3 for the 22U program, as that one is squibbed on over, grabbed there by Fenwick. He bobbles it over the first and he overthrows it. Diving over is Ward to keep it in front of him, but advancing over to third is Willie Garcia.
Now it is important to note that Haas Fenwick is not an infielder by nature. On the Royals website, he's even listed as the backup catcher to Matthew Ward. Doesn't see much time in the infield or even in the outfield. So working out the kinks, shaking off the rusts, it's to be expected.
Well, you like that approach from Johnston. You know, foul ball after foul ball after foul ball, and you know, just a squibber on over to second base. Fenwick just can't handle it cleanly. So runners on the corners with nobody out. Is this the kickstart the Baycats need? That one missing outside. Noah Hull takes the first pitch ball. Things get a little quiet here at Hastings Stadium. Grab there on the run over to first in time. They'll concede the run, make it 13-1. Garcia comes in to score on the ground out there to Hull.
Yeah, Garcia practically jogging to home plate. May have tweaked something coming off of third. Seems to be all right heading to the dugout, but moving very slow heading to home.
Good throw there from Gallo over at third base. As here's Noel McGarry Doyle for his third time up. Has grounded out to the second baseman both times he's been at the plate. Oh, and missing outside.
You can see Kush working in the slider, just not bending the way that he wants, drifting further and further outside.
The 1-0, swing and a miss for strike one.
And back to the regularly scheduled programming. A fastball down low gets McGarry Doyle to bite. Takes all the bait, and it's evened up at 1-1.
Check on over at second base, the 1-1. That one missing just inside. Fans didn't like that one too much, but the count goes to 2-1.
As the fans show their support for Jacob Kush.
The 2-1 getting it off the end of the bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Started looking like Eddie DeOlio breaking the bat during the home run derby on Sunday afternoon. No bueno, says his former teammate on the podcast this week. That one missing outside. 3-2.
Now, something I've picked up on just watching Kush up there on the mound, he hasn't checked in on his runner at all during this entire at-bat. Hasn't glanced back, hasn't checked in on him. Maybe a little passing side eye, but nothing more.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Kush 5 strikeouts on the night.
Locked in on his target, and that's the simple explanation for it. He had eyes for McGarry Doyle only, and racks up his 5th K of the night.
So here's Brandon Hernandez, very similarly 0 for 2, very similarly retired the same way, a fly out to left field. Kush getting into his stance with a runner in scoring position. A little bit of a better setup for him now with 2 down, and that one's going to be laced right on over to Jordan Gallo for the outs.
Yeah, talking about a better setup. Gallo placed perfectly, didn't shuffle over, didn't even have to move his feet. Straightened up his back, raised up his glove, and that's all she wrote.
So to the home half of the 6th we go, and it's a 13-1 game, and there's some conversation happening between, it looks like it was Ward as well as Andrew Johnston. So the 2 catchers having just a quick chuckle. I don't know what that was about, but didn't really look like there was any bad blood in there whatsoever.
No, not at all. Just catching up. Perhaps a joke thrown one way or the other. Now, I was going to mention that, seems to be some activity in the Royals bullpen, but it's just some kids messing around, throwing the ball around, and they've been moved out in due course. Speaking of action in the bullpen, no one's up in the Baycats bullpen. Despite giving up all these runs, Pakala still has the faith of Matlow. And as I mentioned off the top, partner, plenty of these Baycats pitchers were used in last weekend's All-Star festivities. Now, regardless of how many innings they pitched, they still got used. They were still put into that game. That's going to tire them out. A couple of them were starters, but, prominent relievers like Sano. Not very much rest heading into tonight's game. That might be the reason why Pakala has stayed in this long.
Well, and when you look at the Baycats schedule coming up, let's take a look at it real quick. As tonight is Tuesday, they will host Toronto on Thursday, and it's part of a 3-3 because they got to go into Hamilton on Friday night and then host Chatham-Kent on Saturday. So, that's, you're saving your bigger arms for those 3 games and giving them a little bit of extra rest after going on Sunday, even if it was just for an inning. But here comes Josh Matlow out to the home plate. He's going to have a word with Daniel Newell. I don't know what it's about here.
He's talking with
and he's pointing out to the outfield, in fact. And now he's trying to bring in Francisco Hernandez. I think it might be a defensive No, not a defensive substitution. He looked like he was signaling him over. Yeah, and there goes Hernandez. He's going to come off the field. Francisco Hernandez is getting waved off the field here.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get a defensive substitution here.
Yes, indeed, we will. That,
as it appears, one Hernandez brother has been switched for the other.
No, well,
that was
because Brandon is going out into the shortstop position where he started the game. So this is just a weird moment. And no, that is Francisco out there. So who did they wave out? Nonetheless, that one's going to be flared high in the infield. Nolan McEnroe gets underneath it and makes the catch. Subbing in, that's actually Brando LaRue that popped that one up.
That is going to bring up Haas Fenwick.
13, Anderson.
So here we are at the bottom of the 6th, and it's a 13-1 scoreline. Yeah, a little bit of confusion there, trying to figure out who is on the field, who isn't on there, and that one's going to be laced into right center. Haas Fenwick gets on with a base hit.
First pitch, swinging. And look what we got here. The vet stepping up to the dish. That is Jeff McLeod.
Jeff McLeod.
So he will pinch hit for Garrett Takamatsu. As Jeff McLeod, the big veteran, actually making his first appearance of the season, if I'm reading this right. Yes, indeed. He'll take for strike 1.
McLeod, the veteran, serving most of his time as a coach for the Royals. Still swings a pretty hefty bat, in batting practice at least.
I'll make it officially 17 years in the Intercounty Baseball League as a player as he swings and misses for strike 3. So he's got an official at-bat here. He will go down here in the 6th. And, you know, he's had quite the career. Again, won a championship with the Brantford Red Sox all the way back in 2008. Has been all around the IBL since then. I mean, Mississauga, 2009, 2010, as here comes Liam Wilson. Burlington, back in Guelph for a couple of seasons. Split time between Kitchener and Guelph in 2017. Back to Guelph for a couple of years before the pandemic. Was with the Leafs in 2021. And back here with the Royals from 22 on. As there's strike 1 here on Liam Wilson, who's got a pair of singles and reached on a drop third strike his last time up. That went into the dirt.
Johnson diving on top of that one. Practically sliding into it as he has many a loose ball.
Well, I don't really still see any action out in the Baycats bullpen, so I think they're just going to stretch out Brandon Pakula as long as you can get him for. Chopper, and that one's going to drift foul.
Yeah, there's definitely a few pitchers out there watching on. Now, to me, it looks like one or two are stretching. But that's no indication, really. Stretching and throwing are very, very different things. And it is a little chilly here at Hastings, so could very well just be keeping warm.
Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Wilson, and he's just going to take a step back. Again, Fenwick is over on first. The 1-2 coming with 2 away. And that one's going to get away from Johnston. The runner's going to advance. But no matter anyway, as that's going to be the 3rd strike and an out. And that'll end the inning. Well, we're heading to the 7th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. It's a 13-1 scoreline as the Guelph Royals have a dozen lead on the Barrie Baycats here on Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Welcome back to Royals TV. Just a quick correction. This is actually the 3rd appearance, or rather the 4th appearance of the year for Jeff McLeod. So he stepped into DH again into his 17th year in the Intercounty Baseball League. Just a veteran, just a horse whenever he can get in there. As that'll go for strike 1 here on Francisco Hernandez. Jacob Kush, speaking of horses, he has been quite the horse in this ball game. Second pitch turned on there by Francisco Hernandez is going to go foul. Just joining us, 13-1 is the score. 6 runs in the 4th for the Royals, 5 in the 5th. That has really opened up this one. The 0-2, foul back. Just 2 hits given up by Jacob Kush in this game. Both of those coming in the 6th inning. Took a no-hitter through 5. The 0-2, that one hops over Ward.
And no harm, no foul, no runners on base, and one of just a handful of times that one of Kush's pitches is spiked into the dirt.
That one's sent over to LaRue. Over to first in time. 1 away here in the 7th.
And again, going back to that earlier point, there's a reason you see a succession of bagels up there on the board for the Baycats. It's that Kush has been so efficient. Just 5 strikeouts on the night for him, and I mean, we're still getting through the Baycats' second time up. that goes to show you how impressive the defense of the Royals has been backing up Kush and how great Kush has been in getting unproductive contact. Ground balls, pop-ups, flyouts, you name it.
Swing and a miss from Nolan Macabrota. This is actually the third time around the order here for the Baycats. Nolan Macabrota batting cleanup. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Upstairs, 1-1. Macabrota, as mentioned, was part of the home run derby on Saturday. He had himself quite the battle. Pops that one high. It's going to stay in the infield. It's lost in the lights. Ward will get to it, and he hops off of his glove, and Macabrota stays alive.
And you could see Kush looking up to the lights, giving the double hands up in the air, the magic hands, the universal sign for where the heck's the ball. And Ward got to it, was dancing around out there, just lost it in the lights.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Macabrota.
Royals defense playing straight up. No fancy tricks here.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. He got him. Another strikeout, number 6 for Jacob Kush, and there's 2 down here in the 7th.
It is going to bring up Tristan Clark, who, like many of his Baycats compatriots, was a part of the All-Star festivities last weekend. 21 runs, 39 hits on the season so far. Has had trouble with the strikeouts, 24 on his season.
That one missing outside, 1-0. Well, we could talk about the runs all day long here with the Guelph Royals, but really the story of this game has been the errors for the Baycats. 5 errors charged against the visitors here tonight, and a lot of them turning into runs.
Just a series of unfortunate events. Everything going wrong for the Baycats tonight.
The 2-0, that one's down the line, foul. And everybody will start running after that one. Tristan Clark hit into a 6-4-3 double play back in the 5th. Also struck out in the 2nd. Another guy that's, again, we've talked about it before. Popping his bat, but the defense out in left field, he's one of the best. Reason why he was an all-star. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Brampton native, former draft pick of the Washington Nationals. Ontario Blue Jay alum, Great Lakes Canadiens experience, former Canadian junior national team member. The 2-2, that one's fouled back. I mean, the accolades just keep following him around. I mean, played 2 seasons collegiately at Eastern Oklahoma State. It's at Tennessee Wesleyan, University of New Orleans.
Plenty of baseball under his belt.
He has traveled well.
Not even in his 30s yet.
The 2-2, that one's put into right field and over the glove of Haas Fenwick. And getting on board is Tristan Clark.
It's just another situation of the Bermuda Triangle, where you get 3 guys chasing after the same ball and none of them come up with it. Fenwick was calling for it all the way. Hammond racing in as well. Neither of them making the catch. Leader providing backup. But Fenwick making a lunge at the last second just wasn't enough.
That'll bring up Clayton Keys, who has struck out twice in this ball game. That one's fouled back.
Keys has made the rounds in his own right. Time in the West Canadian Baseball League, the Frontier League. Now finding a home, settling in with these Barrie Baycats.
The 0-1, right down McDonnell for a strike.
Of course, prior to this season, his last IBL season was with the Cardinals back in 2023. 302 batting average, 24 RBIs, 32 hits across his regular season.
Swing and a miss. He got him. We're getting into stretch time here at Hastings Stadium. The Baycats do have one on the board, but the Guelph Royals 13 on the ledger, and Jacob Kush is dealing here on a Tuesday night. We'll be back. We're going to take a quick break here for stretch time here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. You're watching Royals TV. Welcome back to Royals TV. Mark Pare, Josh Alderman here with you. Matthew Ward stepping up to the plate. I can tell you that there has been a plethora of substitutions for the Barrie Baycats. We'll get to them as soon as we possibly can. They were throwing them at us one by one. Of course, the first one was Asafa Jones, who was at the plate for that final out. And he is now playing out in center field for Noel McGarry Doyle, as that one misses downstairs. Among the substitutions, it's actually Antonino Spencer Thompson playing out in center field now.
And Jones has subbed in at right field amongst the myriad of changes.
That's his usual spot.
It is.
The delivery right across for a strike.
Amongst the myriad of changes, Alex Wickett in for Francisco Hernandez. Austin Boylan in for Macabrota, with Hull shifting over to first.
That one's put out of play.
No change on the mound, though. Pakala still up with minimal activity in the Baycats bullpen.
Well, I think you just ride him at this point. I mean, he hasn't been bad in the last. He did well in the 6th inning. That pitch count is running up there towards 70 now, so you're kind of just getting a lengthier relief appearance. They check over at first base for the swing, but Ward didn't go around.
But we mentioned before, Pakala's got to be gassed up there on the mound. Made an appearance for the senior team on Saturday, the junior team as well.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 3.
Now, admittedly, his appearance on the weekend against the Brantford Red Sox was just 1 inning of play. Struck out 2 of the 3 batters he faced, picked up the W in the night, but no way he sticks around much longer. Ethan Hammond now up at the dish.
So just to kind of give you an update on what everything looks like, I'll get to that in a moment as Hull fields it over to first in time. So there's 2 away. So the defense looks like this now for the Barrie Baycats. Tristan Clark remains out in left field. Thompson is in center. Jones is over in right. Boylan is the third baseman. Brandon Hernandez is the shortstop. Francisco Hernandez, I believe, was subbed out, I believe. You have Alex Wickett out there now. Swing and a miss from Andy Leader for strike one, and Noah Hull shifted on over to first. So Josh Matlow giving his bench some extra time on the field in a blowout.
And there's nothing wrong with that. To be fair, with the way, A, that the Royals are playing, B, the way that Kush is pitching, and C, the way that nothing has gone right for the Baycats tonight, might as well get you guys some reps.
Well, and this is, maybe in the betting world you would call a trap game, if you will, right? Where, yes, the Royals won their last game, but struggled before that with 5 straight losses. And we're talking about a team in Barrie that has won 6 straight games, 9 of 10. A team that was in the top of the power rankings this week as well. So, in the lineup that they presented here was an A-plus lineup when it comes to the offense. But Jacob Kush, I think, was the big story in this one.
They just weren't.
And still is.
Absolutely. They just weren't able to solve the Jacob Kush problem. Smoking them with fastballs left, right, and center. Getting the job done, as only he can.
As Leader will foul that one away.
And yeah, it really seems like Matlow letting his bench guys have their time in the lights. Boylan just 9 games played. Wickett just 12 games played. Thompson making his first ever IBL appearance.
That one will go inside on Leader. He'll advance over to first base.
Thompson, I believe, officially signed just this morning.
Yes, he did. And he's quite the story as well, as we will see Jordan Gallo come up to the plate. Spencer Thompson, a Bradford native, was playing for the 22U team this year. Yes, he is a junior, but he has signed on to a card for the 28-man roster. So, as part of that roster at this point in time. It was an alumnus of the Ontario Blue Jays program as well. So Gallo here is 1 for 2 with a walk. There's a strike.
Baycats still playing a traditional defensive setup, not too worried about a bunt at this stage of the game.
That one's put into right field. Base hit for Gallo. He's got a pair of hits in this game, and runners are on first and second.
Back-to-back singles and back-to-back plate appearances.
Well, as this game goes along, let's, we can revisit what has been, the first half of the season. Barrie starting off slow. They end up improving. Now they find themselves 2.5 back of Welland in the, chase for that pennant. A lot of guys going to the All-Star Showdown in Hamilton, and a team that's really trying to load up for this run going towards a second straight championship, as that one goes in for a strike. Guelph on the other hand, the team that ended up falling to the Baycats in the final last year. Kind of a Jekyll and Hyde kind of season, as that one misses inside. This is kind of one of those games that what you've been waiting for as a Royals fan, with the amount of offense that this team can produce. This is the second highest producing game for this team all season. The other one, of course, was that 22-7 drubbing over Kitchener back on June 22nd.
There's no doubt that this team can and will clobber their opponents, but it's a matter of getting in sync, working together as a team instead of individuals having standout afternoons or nights.
That one missing outside. 3-1 here on Patterson. He has walked 3 times. He has also flown out to center field.
And with that last point in mind, tonight has been a team game for the Royals.
That one's put into right center. That one's likely going to score a run as that one goes. No, they're just not going to start the runner over at third. They're just going to have the bases loaded here. It went deep enough, but, that's, I think, a respect thing from Dino Ramel. Just, you get a hard hit baseball, you put it out there. You don't want to show up the opposition, and you get a hit, just advance the runners up. You're not trying to stretch for runs up by 12.
You'll be hard-pressed to find a manager more well-respected across the league than Dino Ramel is. Led the Royals to titles in 03 and 04, Manager of the Year last year.
Brando puts that one down the line. That's going to be a long foul ball.
Just feet from the foul pole.
Yeah, didn't miss it by much. Yeah,
Cleared the fence, too.
Yeah, we saw Dino actually on Sunday down at field level in Hamilton, having a great time with the other managers. Skylar Janice was a major appearance, who was a major talking point in that home run derby. Not for the actual bat, but the outfit. He was going Beverly Hills 90210. I mean, I kid you not, the guy has flair. The 0-1, that one missing inside. They're not going to start the runners at all, as it just gets away from Johnston there.
I like that.
I mean, the cleats from Ryan Rio. Spot on. Ryan, I know you're watching this tonight. Spot on cleats, my man. And great to see you. By the way, excellent Randy Moss jersey walking into the stadium with. Yeah, had the old New England Patriots blue home jerseys walking in.
Ooh.
You know, as the honorary captain of the team. That's a chopper. That one right off the glove. Hopper over to first, and unable to scoop it is Hull, and another run comes in to score, make it 14-1.
And to me, that just summarizes what's gone wrong for the Baycats tonight. What should be a routine scoop and throw ends up being fumbled by two very capable defenders. And ultimately another run comes in to score.
Well, guys that are tuning in here still tonight, you know, we can talk about the All-Star Showdown quite a bit. We can talk about a lot of things, but what would you like to talk about? You know what? To quote the infamous American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, so, chat room, what do you want to talk about? Let us know in the chat, and you know, we'll get into the conversation and just try to bring this game along with, you know, it's very much out of reach at this point. You can see with the way the Royals are swinging the bats in this one. The 0-2 missing outside. As that's Haas Fenwick at the plate. He's the one that subbed in for Connor Morrow.
Pakala right back at it.
Down in again. You know, he's nearing the century mark in pitches here as well. So, you know, comes into the ball game in relief of Christopher Torres, and you know, basically just getting a start load of, you know, pitching in. The 2-2 swing and a miss for strike three, and Pakala gets through it. So it's 14-1 Guelph as we head to the 8th here at Hastings Stadium. We're going to go to break. Stay with us. This is Royals TV.
Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Hard line drive up the middle. Whoa! Lindor out of nowhere. How did he do that?
That Lindor can play. I don't know about that hair. And don't get me started on those gloves.
I don't know. I kind of like it.
It's time for a revolution. The Ref 1X by Rollins.
Oh, it's
The designated hitter, number 4, Willie Garcia.
welcome back to Royals TV as we head into the 8th inning. The night is done for Jacob Kush, and what a night it was for him as he exits the ballgame after 7 innings of work, facing 24 batters. And Niall Windler will come in here for the Guelph Royals. The lefty deals strike 1 here on Willie Garcia.
Now this is Windler's first appearance since all the way back on June 3rd against the Barnstormers. Former Twins draft pick in 2 games so far this season. 2.2 innings pitched, a 0.00 ERA, and 2 Ks to his name. First appearance came in relief at the end of May, and then on June the 3rd, making his first start of the season, got drilled by a comebacker that took him out of the game and has taken him out of the rotation for a long while. So it's good to see him back up there on the mound.
So Garcia is 1 for 2. He's the one that crossed the plate for the lone run for the Baycats in this game. The 0-2 missing outside. And the Royals have a busy weekend upcoming as well. After tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, into Toronto Friday night, hosting Hamilton on Saturday. And then Kitchener will get the visit from the Royals on Sunday afternoon as there's a strikeout here on Garcia to start things off here in the 8th. One of 2 games happening in the Inter-County Baseball League, and I'll take it over.
Catcher, number 29.
Well, we are heading into the bottom of the 9th inning. Majors leading 2-1. Of course, got up early in the top of the first. Big Eddie Deolio leading things off with a home run. I know Dylan Baker's somewhere out there smiling. Then later on in the bottom of the 5th, Chatham Kent even things up, or pardon me, the Majors jumped out to a 2-0 lead after an error by the second baseman led to Byron Rechsteiner scoring from second. And then in the top of the 7th, pardon me, I seem to have gotten my innings confused. It was tied up by the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 5th inning. Spencer Marcus with a single to score in Robert Mackey. And then in the 7th was when the Majors broke through.
Chopper over to Fenwick, over to first, in time, 2 away. So it was Andrew Johnston on that at-bat. Yeah, just the one game happening, a lot of games happening this weekend as transaction deadline will be on Monday night, 11:59 p.m. As here's Noah Hull for the Baycats with 2 away here in the 8th. So again, busy week for the Royals, busy weekend as well for the Cats, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then they'll have a little bit of time before they have to go into Toronto on Wednesday, July 30th. And again, this is the last meeting of the season between these 2 teams. Won't meet again unless they meet in the playoffs, which could be a possibility, just depending on how everything ends up going.
Barring any major fall off, Baycats are all but guaranteed a playoff spot.
Well, Baycats are in for sure because, so with the tiebreaker they have against the Brantford Red Sox, Brantford, if they were to win out and Barrie were to lose out, they would end up in a tie for wins. And Barrie has taken the season series already, so that's already decided. Barrie Baycats should have an X next to their name at this point. So that one misses inside on Hull for the walk.
For the Royals, I mean, it's all about momentum. Turning fortunes in your favor. It's been a topsy-turvy season so far for them. As you mentioned before, Jekyll and Hyde-esque.
Center fielder, number 2.
Not quite hitting the highs of last year's Cinderella run, but still plenty of baseball left to be played. 11 games on from this point for the Royals.
Well, here's the first at-bat for the newest signee of the Barrie Baycats in Antonino Spencer Thompson. The 0-1, that one missing upstairs. Now just signed today That one missing again.
Windler throws a lot of sliders. Like Kush before him, threw a lot of fastballs. The go-to for Windler is the slider, but he's not opposed to throwing in a mean fastball as he did there.
So the runner is now on second base, I should mention, as Noah Hull advanced on the first pitch, as that one's put into the gap and into right field. A base hit, runners on the corners with 2 away. And there is the first career IBL hit for Antonino Spencer Thompson in his first career IBL at bat.
And there you can see Ward. Good man tossing things right into the Baycats dugout so that they can hold on to that ball, give it to the youngster after the game. Little souvenir, commemorative trophy, if you will.
And this will bring up Brandon Hernandez, who is 0 for 3. A couple of flyouts and a lineout right on over to the third baseman. That one's drilled down the line, foul. As people have started to file out here at Hastings Stadium, there's not really much down the lines anymore. About a dozen here in the grandstands. Maybe a little bit more than that. Is that one missing on the outside? But a good game here for the Guelph Royals, and a statement game for sure against one of the toughest teams in the league. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Hernandez. Off the bat, and that'll go into the backstop.
And we can report that it is final score from Chatham, Ken. 2-1 for the Majors. The aforementioned Skylar Janice striking out 2 of the 3 batters he faced to close out the game.
Another save for Skylar. He leads the league. I believe that is his 8th save of the season. Winderler over the first and in time, and that'll retire the side. It remains 14-1. The Guelph Royals lead it. So we head to the home half of the 8th inning. And again, just talking about that All-Star showdown and just the 9-0-2-1-0 look from Skylar Janice. Had a word with him. He had his son out. His 4-year-old was all around the ballpark at Bernie Arbor Stadium. Everybody had the kids out throughout the day. I mean, you talk about these core memories. Those are those core memories that you bring with you. And, Skylar really said something that stuck out to me. Just about how he had a father that was involved in baseball when he was growing up and, got to take in experiences like that. And now he gets to do it for the next generation as well. It's something that just goes on generation to generation, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And, I got to talk with a lot of the guys, including, some of the Baycats. I know that Josh Matlow, the field manager, and Ryan Rio got some TV time on Cable 14 during the game. It was simulcasted on CHCH for the home run derby, going coast to coast. I think our friend Neil ended up getting a phone call from a friend of his on the West Coast in BC. He said, "Yeah, I'm seeing you on CHCH."
No way.
That's the stretch the IBL is going in now, where the exposure is getting there, and it's good to see. As we will welcome you back in here for Jeff McLeod, and a new pitcher coming in, and it is the position player Tyler Plumpton, who will throw the balls and strikes here for the Baycats here in this inning.
The long-time Barrie Baycat making just his 2nd pitching appearance.
Chopper down the line. If you had on your bingo card tonight is Jeff McLeod, he stepped on the bag, and that did not look good on the right foot. If you had on your bingo card that Tyler Plumpton was going to be the pitcher in an at-bat from Jeff McLeod in this game, if you were to tell me that at the beginning of this game, I'd ask you who you fooling. But Jeff McLeod, running down the line, he is out, but that just did not look good on the exchange as he tagged the bag, and I don't know if he rolled something there, but it looks like he's shaking something off.
Instantly came up limping, and For a veteran, it's something you just absolutely hate to see. For anyone, it's something you hate to see, especially Jeff McLeod. And there you can see a little exchange of pleasantries between him and Plumpton, little show of support, which you love to see.
Exactly. I mean, Plumpton didn't mean it there at all. Just trying to make a play.
Exactly.
It happens. So here comes Liam Wilson.
Now, Plumpton's last and only pitching appearance came back in 2021.
Ooh, that was some good movement from Plumpton.
One game, one inning pitched.
Maybe about 70 on that pitch on the radar.
Ooh.
That one right outside, just missing the strike zone there.
Yeah, July 30th, 2021, a 9-1 loss to the Hamilton Cardinals. Gave up a hit, struck out one as he faced 4 batters on the night.
The 1-1 in for a strike. Good job there from Plumpton. Good location. Yeah, you said it. He's got some experience at this level on the mound. As Wilson
tees off.
Puts in a BP-esque kind of swing there and just gets barreled to the baseball into left center. And he's got 3 hits in this game, Liam does. So we're going to talk about, trying to continue on with the way you're continuing on. If you are Liam Wilson right there, you're starting to string together some of these big games. And, that batting average is getting way up there. Started at 277, now up to 296. Something to see. As here is Ward. Foul that one back. I would love to just have a radar gun right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see the velocity from Plumpter.
Oh,
from
absolutely.
Plumpter.
See what kind of stuff he's throwing.
The 0-2 right on over. Boylan throws over to second, and they'll turn the double play. As easy as it gets on the 5-4-3, and we're going to head to the 9th here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. 14-1 Royals lead here on Royals TV.
Go to the top of the 9th here at Hastings Stadium. Leading off for the Barrie Baycats, the second baseman, number 81, Alex Wickett.
Cool. Welcome back here on Royals TV. Mark Pare, Josh Alderman, top of the 9th. Alex Wickett will get his first hacks inside the batter's box here, and Connor King is into the game here for the Guelph Royals to close this one out, up by 13 runs. It's been an offensive juggernaut style of game here for the Guelph Royals, and pitching was just perfect for them. The defense was great for them as well, in behind Jacob Kush. Completely different story for the Barrie Baycats in this game.
And it comes back to those three key things. One, Jacob Kush was firing on all cylinders tonight, and the defense certainly backing him up. Two, the Royals just absolutely ate up every single pitch from Torres and from Pakala, really turning a new page for many of these batters lower down on the order, having some solid nights all around, statement-making performance. And number three, things just really haven't gone the Baycats' way defensively tonight. Error after error, drop after drop. Only so many times you can lose it in the dirt or lose it in the lights before it becomes a problem.
Well, 6 errors on the night for the Baycats. You're not going to win too many baseball games with that on your ledger, as that'll miss for ball number 2. No home runs, obviously, in this game. Guelph not really relying on the homers to really, do damage all season long, really. I mean, that one's going to go into foul ground and out of play. I mean, this is a team that, a league low 13 home runs on the season. A league low 145 runs scored. Middle of the pack when it comes to runs against. But a performance like this from Jacob Kush can really go a long way, especially when you know who else is coming into the lineup and coming into the starting rotation in the next week. Because, one of the questions in the chat is wondering about the status of Torres and Claudio Custodio. Someone saying that Torres already played. That is Chris Torres that played earlier on today for the Barrie Baycats. Got the start, not something to hang your hat on, to say the very least, as Wicket's going to take the walk. Franklin Torres is the catcher that's expected to come into the Guelph Royals organization. He expected to in sometime this weekend. And same with Claudio Custodio as well, hearing that that could be something that happens as early as this weekend, where they would get in actual game time with the Royals. And keep in mind, again, as Nolan Macabroda subbed out here, this is a new batter into the game. That is Austin Boylan, as it'll be knocked down the line foul. And this kind of goes for both teams as well. I mean, transaction deadline's coming up next Monday, and this is the point in time where you're getting to know some of your junior players as well, because when kind of the going gets tough, you need to look at your depth and realize where the weak spots are, as Boylan will put that one right on over to Fenwick, over to first, and in time they'll get the outs, and there are now 2 away just like that.
Yeah,
but that's the thing, right?
That's the thing.
And you bring in Franklin Torres, you bring in Claudio Custodio. I've said it before, Franklin Torres, usually works as a catcher, but he has worked as an infielder before too, so you'll probably see him and Ward, splitting time in behind the plate, one of them DHing at a time. You can see Torres go into the infield. There's a lot of chips that Dino Ramel can move around here, as this is Tristan Clark at the plate with 2 away.
And that's the thing. You'd rather be spoiled than not have enough. Rather have too much than too little. Having this wealth of guys that you can draw on, especially with a playoff push coming soon, speaks volumes to the talent level in this team and potentially their ability to bring this season right back around.
Down to the final strike here on Tristan Clark. Here comes the delivery. The 0-2 is fouled back, and Clark will stay alive. Well, again, the Royals will be back in action coming up on the road. That'll be their next game on Friday in Toronto, hosting Hamilton on Saturday. That'll be our next home game here on Royals TV, as that's a chopper. This should do it. Gallo over to first in time, and the Royals have won 2 straight. as their offense explodes against the Barrie Baycats in a 14-1 win here on a Tuesday night at home here at Hastings Stadium.
Everything came together. It was a perfect storm. Everything that could go right did go right for the Royals tonight. Jacob Kush went 7 innings for his 4th straight start. Fantastic stuff all night long, and as we mentioned, just 6 strikeouts on the night. His ability to get unproductive contact, groundouts, pop-outs, flyouts, and of course the defense backing him up really came in big for the Royals, and then the offense just exploded, taking out Torres and Pakala as well. Ultimately, this was a loss of the Baycats' own doing.
One other thing to note, in the last 14 games, Barrie has only lost 2 games. Both of those have been to the Guelph Royals, as we get a shot of our public address announcer who is going in front of our camera. Again, a big game here for the Guelph Royals, putting 14 on the board, and this is where you want to kickstart something. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. We really shouldn't go through it as much any longer as we are getting ready to wrap up the night here. Again, the Royals, a big win, and they take the season series as well here against the Baycats. There you see our next home game. It'll be on Saturday, 7:30 first pitch, live under the lights here at Hastings Stadium in Guelph. Hamilton will be in town to take on the Royals. Well, I think it's time to go home. It's been a long night. It's been definitely a long night for the Baycats. We'll see you guys on Saturday. This has been another presentation of Royals TV. He's Josh Alderman. I'm Mark Perry for Jacob Chappelle and everybody putting us on the air here on YouTube. We will see you next time.